Myself, this is G. Mahesh Kumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry. Today in the environmental sustainability, today we are going to discuss about the case studies on the natural resources. We are going to discuss about what are the case studies that are present in the natural resources. Natural resources is nothing but the resources which are available in the nature, like air, water, soil, land. All these comes under the natural resources. What are the case studies that are present in the natural resources? We are going to discuss in this topic. Now, coming to the topics, benefits of case studies. What are the benefits of case studies and case studies on natural resources? These are the topics today we are going to cover. What are the benefits of case studies in the natural resources and the case studies on the natural resources? These are the topics. And coming to the introduction part, introduction to the natural resources and their importance. What is the introduction to the natural resources and their importance? Natural resources are nothing but the materials. Materials are substances that occur naturally in the environment and used by the humans to meet their basic needs. Okay, natural resources are the materials, are the substances that are naturally occur in the environment and that are used by the humans to meet their demands, basic needs. They include air. Natural resources include air, water, minerals, forest, and wildlife, etc. All these comes under the examples for the natural resources. Examples for the natural resources. Now, what is the overview of sustainable resource management? What is the sustainable resource management? We need to discuss. Sustainable resource management involves the responsible use and conservation of natural resources. Sustainable resource management is nothing but it is the responsible use and conservation of natural resources. The main aim of this sustainable management is to meet the needs present in the present generation without compromising our ability of future generation. Is nothing but the sustainable resource management. What is sustainable resource management? Is nothing but it is the responsible use and conservation of natural resources. Is nothing but sustainable resource management. The main goal of this is to need to present regarding about the present generation without compromising the future generation needs. Is nothing but the natural resource management. Now, coming to the benefits of case studies. What are the benefits that are present in the case studies? Is to provide real world examples. To provide the real world examples of successful resource management strategies, plans. Okay, it provides it provides the real world importance of case studies in understanding the resource management. Benefits comes under these case studies are to provide real world examples of successful resource management strategies. First one is to provide real world examples for the successful resource management strategies. Second one is highlight the challenges and the best practices in different contexts. Highlight the challenges and the best practices in a different context. Third one is to help in identifying the lessons learned for the sustainable resource management. Third one is to the help in identifying the lessons learned for the sustainable resource management. And the fourth one is develop the effective strategies for the resource management. All these are the benefits of case studies in the natural resources. First one is to provide the real world examples of successful resource management, highlight the challenges and the best practices in a different context, to help in identifying the lessons learned for the sustainable resource management, and develop the effective strategies for the resource management. All these are the four benefits of case studies. Now, what are the outlines of presentation? Here, It is nothing but the sustainable management of river basins, addressing the water scarcity and the successful water conservation programs, and restoring and protecting the water ecosystem, restoration of degraded ecosystems, renewable energy implementation, sustainable mining practices, and indigenous land management practices. All these are the some of the topics that we are going to discuss today. Sustainable management of river basins, addressing the water scarcity, successful water conservation programs, restoring and protecting the water ecosystem, restoration of degraded ecosystem, renewable energy implementation, sustainable mining practices, indigenous land management practices. All these are topics that we are going to discuss. First one, what is a sustainable management of river basin? Here, what is a sustainable management of river basin is the case study will explore the strategies and approaches used to the sustainable manage a river basin. Key aspects of sustainable management include one is water allocation and pollution control. Second one and the third one is ecosystem restoration. All these are the strategies we are going to do in this case study. One is the water allocation, pollution control, and the ecosystem restoration. What is the introduction of this sustainable management of river basin? In the sustainable management of river basin is a complex, challenging task that requires the multifaceted approach. In this case study, explore the strategies and approaches used sustainable manage a river basin with the focus on key challenges and successes. Key challenges and successes. What are the challenges that are present in this? Means water scarcity and competition for the resources, pollution and degradation of water quality, infrastructure and capacity issues. Challenges that are present in the sustainable management of river basin is water scarcity and competition for the resources, pollution and degradation of water quality, infrastructure and capacity issues. What are the approaches that are present in this? Means collaborative planning. Collaborative planning and decision making process involves stakeholders from the various sectors and communities. Second one is the integration of economic, social, environmental considerations in the decision making process. Integration of economic, social, and environmental considerations in the decision making process. And the third one is investment in infrastructure and technology to improve water quality management and reduce the pollution. These are the approaches that are present in the sustainable management of river basin. Now coming to the case study 2, here addressing the water scarcity in a region. What is the water scarcity that is present in a particular region? We are going to discuss in this case study 2. In this, what is water scarcity? Scarcity is nothing but the whatever the water that is available to the requirement. The study examines the measures taken to address the water scarcity in a specific region. Okay, in this case study 2, it examines the measures taken to address the water scarcity in a specific region. What is water conservation practices? Water conservation practices is a region implemented various water conservation practices such as use of drip irrigation system and promoting green gardens. Now next, infrastructure development. The region invested in infrastructure development including construction of water treatment plants, reservoirs to improve the water supply and management. Infrastructure development is a region invested in the infrastructure development including the construction of water treatment plants, reservoirs to improve the water supply and management. What is a community engagement? The local community actively participating in addressing water scarcity through engagement programs and volunteering in the water related issues. In this case study 2, it addresses about the water scarcity that are present in a particular region. Okay, community engagement is the local communities actively participating in the addressing the water scarcity through the programs and volunteers in the water related initiatives. Now, what is a case study 3? Okay, here in the successful water conservation programs, is a case study 3. In this residential water conservation program, what is a residential water conservation program? Is a this is a water conservation program. It was implemented in the residential area and aimed to reduce water consumption by promoting water saving practices among the residents. Okay, here in this, the programs was implemented in a particular region or area to aim to reduce the water consumption by promoting the water saving practices among the residents. Now, what are the strategies? There's nothing but plans that we are going to introduce for the water conservation programs. Installation of water efficient fixtures and appliances, educational campaigns on water conservation practices. Educational campaigns on water conservation practices. Outcomes. Okay, 20% of reduction in residential water consumption. 20% of reduction in the residential water consumption. Increased awareness and adoption of water saving practices among the residents. Outcome is what is the outcome here? The 20% reduction in the residential water consumption and increased water strategies, adaptation of water saving practices among the residents. Agriculture water conservation program. Next, what is agriculture water conservation program? Here, residential water conservation program and the agriculture water conservation program. In this water conservation program was implemented in agriculture setting and aimed to reduce water usage in irrigation systems. What is the strategy of this agriculture water conservation program? Is the plan is to implement a deep irrigation system for efficient water distribution and adaptation of water saving agriculture practices. Water saving agriculture practices. Outcome of this by agriculture water conservation program is here only the 20% reduction in residential water consumption, whereas in the agriculture water conservation, 30% of reduction in water usage in irrigation systems and improved water efficiency in the agriculture operations. This is a case studies 3 where the successful water conservation program has been taken place. Conservation of successful water conservation programs has been taken place. Now, the residential water conservation program aimed at reducing water usage was implemented in urban area with high water demand. The program focused on educating residents about the importance of water conservation and providing them with the tools, resources, reduce their water usage. The program is also included a comprehensive outreach campaign that targeted the residents through social media, community events, door-to-door outreach. The residents were provided with water-saving devices such as low-flow shower heads and faucets, as well as information on how to fix the leak, install rain barrels. The program is also included incentives for the residents who reduce their water usage, such as rebates for water saving devices, discounts on water bills. This is a successful water conservation program and residential water conservation program. Now, restoring and protecting the water ecosystems. Restoring and protecting the water conservation ecosystem. Here, restoration and protection of water ecosystems includes, in this case study, will focus on the restoration and protection of water conservation, including the wetlands, rivers, lakes, and benefits on their efforts for biodiversity as well as the ecosystem services. Lessons learned from and the best practices from the water resource management case studies. The key lessons learned are: one is efficient water use and integrated water management, water monitoring, and the data analysis. Okay, these are the 3 lessons we are going to learn. Efficient water use. Okay, in this case study highlighted the importance of implementing the efficient water use practices. Okay, such as drip irrigation system and adopting the water saving technologies to minimize the wastewater and maximize the water productivity. The successful case studies emphasized the need for the integrated water approaches which involve the collaborations among the different stakeholders, including the government, communities, industries, to ensure the sustainable water management, to enable the sustainable water management. Now, in the third one, that is water monitoring and data analysis. The case study demonstrated the importance of regular water monitoring and data analysis to assess the water quality, quantity, availability. Okay, water quality, quantity, and availability. This information is crucial for making informed decisions, and implementing the effective water management strategies. Here, the case study 4 explains about the restoring and protecting the water ecosystem. Okay, in this focus on the ecosystem, protection of water ecosystems includes the wetlands, rivers, lakes, and the benefits for their efforts of biodiversity and services ecosystem services. Now, what are the best practices for the restoring and protecting the water ecosystem? Best practices for the sustainable wastewater management is stakeholder engagement, water conservation, and ecosystem based approaches. What is a stakeholder engagement? In the engaging and involving of all relevant stakeholders, including the local communities, industries, government agencies, is crucial for developing and implementing the sustainable water management practices. Okay, here what are the engaging and involving of all the relevant stakeholders, including the local communities, industries, government agencies. It is crucial for developing and implementing sustainable water management practices. Okay, this ensures that need and concerns of all the stakeholders are considered and addressed. Next, water conservation. Implementing water conservation measures such as rainwater harvesting, water reuse, water efficient technologies can help the minimize water waste and ensure the sustainable use of water resources. Now, next, in the ecosystem based approaches, adopting the ecosystem based approaches to water management, such as protecting and restoring the natural habitats, can help to maintain the water quality, enhance the water availability, and support the overall health and ecosystem. It helps to support the overall health and the ecosystem. Now, case study 5: restoration of degraded ecosystem. In this case study, explores the restoration of degraded ecosystem, which includes the degraded forest, wetlands, and grasslands. Okay, one is degraded forest, wetland, and the third one is grassland. Okay, in this, it examines the ecological and social economical benefits of ecosystem restoration, such as improved biodiversity, enhanced water quality, increased carbon, and creation of sustainable livelihoods for the local communities. In creation of sustainable livelihoods for the local communities. All these are the restoration of degraded ecosystem. What are the lessons and strategies derived for the forest and biodiversity case studies? Key lessons are importance of biodiversity conservation in maintaining the ecosystem health and resilience, significance of engagement and participation in the sustainable forest management, effective strategies for the mitigating the deforestation and promoting the reforestation. Okay, these are the derived from the forest and the biodiversity case studies, implementation of sustainable forest management practices and certification systems. Okay, and promoting ecotourism and sustainable use of forest resources for local communities, and collaboration and partnership between the government, NGOs, local communities. Government, NGOs, and local communities. Government, NGOs, and local communities. In this case study, renewable energy implementation in the renewable energy implementation. This case study will examine the implementation of renewable energy projects in specific region. Okay, specific region including the solar energy, wind energy, hydropower, and the benefits of renewable energy for the sustainable development. What is the renewable energy implementation in a particular region and the impacts on local community? The implementation of renewable energy sources in a region has a positive impact on local communities. It has created the jobs and stimulated the ecosystem growth, particularly in the construction and maintenance sector. Additionally, the use of renewable energy has reduced to reliance on fossil fuels, which had led decrease in the water pollution and improving the public health. Improved in the public health. Impact on environment. What is the impact of this renewable energy implementation in the particular region? Implementation of renewable energy sources had a significant positive impact on environment. It has reduced the greenhouse gases emission, decreased dependence on non-renewable resources, which has led to reduction in the deforestation, habitat destruction. Additionally, the use of renewable energy has reduced the risk of oil spills and other environmental disasters associated with the fossil fuel extraction and transportation. In the next case study 7, sustainable mining practices. What is a sustainable mining practices? Responsible mineral extraction, environmental protection measures, and community engagement in the mining operations. In this case study will showcase the mining activities or the practices that are responsible for the mineral extraction, ensuring the minimal environmental impact and ethical standards. In the case study, highlight the implementation of environmental protection measures at mining sites such as land restoration, water conservation, use of sustainable energy resources. Next, community engagement in the mining operations. The case study will explore the importance of community engagement. In mining operations. It includes the initiatives for the education, job training, and also the sustainable development in the local communities. This is a community engagement in the mining operation. The importance of community engagement in mining operations includes the education. One is education, and the second one is job training, and the last one is sustainable development in the local communities. What are the responsible in the mineral extraction? Sustainable mining practices involves the responsible in the mineral extraction that minimizes the environmental impact and promotes the social responsibility. It includes measures like reclamation of mined land, reduction of water usage, and the implementation of safety protocols for the workers. In environmental impact on the mitigation. Okay, sustainable mining practices also involves mitigating the environmental impact on mining operation. It includes the measures such as reducing the greenhouse gases emission and minimizing the waste and pollution and restoring the ecosystem affected by the mining activities. These are the case study sustainable mining practices. Now the last one, land management practice, indigenous land management practices. What is the indigenous land management practices means? Here in this indigenous communities have developed unique land management practices. That is based on the traditional ecological knowledge. It is based on the traditional ecological knowledge. In this knowledge is based on the centuries of observation and the experiences it has allowed indigenous communities to maintain the healthy ecosystem and the sustainable land use practices. Sustainable, what is the sustainable land use practices? Is the indigenous land management practices often involve the sustainable land use practices such as agroforestry, which combine the agriculture and the forest to create a more diverse and resilient ecosystem. Other practices include rotational grazing, which allows the restoration of degraded land, use of traditional fire management techniques to maintain the healthy ecosystem. How the synthesis and key takeaways from the land use and agriculture resource case studies. What are the key findings? Effective land use planning is crucial for the sustainable agriculture practices. The first key finding is effective land use planning is crucial for the sustainable agriculture practices. Next one is to implement the efficient irrigation system can conserve the water resources. Promoting the organic farming practice can reduce the reliance on chemical inputs. Strategies for the sustainable land use and agriculture. These are the three key findings. Effective land use planning in crucial for sustainable agriculture practices. Implementing the efficient irrigation system can conserve the water resources. Promoting the organic farming practices can reduce the reliance of chemical inputs. What are the strategies? Now, strategies are for the sustainable land use and agriculture is development comprehensive land use plans that consider the environmental, social, and economic factors. Invest in the modern irrigation technologies to optimize the water usage and minimize the waste. Next, encourage the adaptation of organic farming practices through education and incentives. These are the three strategies. One is to develop the comprehensive land use plans that consider the environmental, social, and economic factor. To invest in the modern irrigation technologies. To increase the adaptation of organic farming practices through the education and incentives. Thank you.
Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.